Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Nasa Capital coming to you on a rather strange but warm afternoon in the Southern Hemisphere. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, you'll have to forgive me. I have not been active in recent times. My sincere apologies for that. And as you can, I'm sure you can hear it from my voice that I sound a bit nasally. I've had a horrible cold, and things have kind of not cleared as I'd hoped they would, which is really kind of irritating in itself. So that has sort of delayed my making more videos or having to do the rough and ready. So I said that I must do something today, and so I hope you like it. There's a little bit of a twist to it as well, and I've added a few more things, and if you like them, we're going to continue. As always, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. That helps me, and the more it helps me, the more I can bring better content over time. Anyway, so let's just get started. So before we begin to look at the charts, I just want to look at a few things. So I'll start with the crypto fear and greed index. It's now down to 46. It's neutral. I think yesterday this particular index was a bit high. It was about 52. But then we noticed a bigger fall in some of the cryptocurrency prices. I mean, for instance, Solana was about $200, a bit of $210, and now it's back to about 190 something. So, but we'll see when we look at the charts. Okay, very quickly, we look here at the token unlocks, and if you are invested in any of these tokens here, ladies and gentlemen, these are the unlocks here. Tribal, Fed, Jupiter is also going to be unlocked in 3 days' time. SUI, only about 1.25%, 152 million. That's in 11 hours' time. Actually, this one is going to be locked out very soon. Wow. DYDX, ENA is always there. I don't know why that's happening all the time. Keep an eye on these things, ladies and gentlemen, because when you have these unlocks, many of you, I'm sure, have noticed that the prices kind of get affected. Or should I say the price of your cryptocurrency gets affected. It's most of the time, if it's a lot, it falls. Some of you may have noticed, like, I think about a year or two ago, or so, about a year ago or more, when Pith unlocked something like $1 billion of coins. I mean, that just killed the price, and it's struggled to recover ever since. So just keep an eye out on that, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, just keep an eye out on that. And I mean, even Pith here we go again. Pith in 267 days. Not too bad this time. It's only going to be about 248.6 million, which is 36.96% of the whole thing. So you got to look at these things, how they ultimately affect, how do affect the price of your favorite currency, if that's what you like. Okay, let's go here. Something that I thought this was a little bit trivial, but I thought let me just put it in. There have been articles, I beg your pardon, been written about NFTs making a comeback. I think I don't think we're getting what we used to get. I mean, many of you remember the excitement of NFTs, particularly with the Bored Ape Yacht Club and all that. And then you got Pudgy Penguins here. Number one is still CryptoPunks. Floor price is 48.99 Ethereum, which is $225. $225,316, I beg your pardon. Ridiculous. 24-hour volume, 897,000. So people are obviously still buying this stuff. Market cap at about 2.3 billion at 489,900 Ethereum. There's still some interest in him. I suggest you look. You might be able to get something for yourself. Who knows? For those of you with money. And I mean, who knows with this stuff? I mean, I have yours truly. I do have cryptocurrencies, but none of these, not like Bored Ape or CryptoPunks or Pudgy Penguins. I don't have something, at that level. So or even the Fidenza is still there, number 6. At least the Fidenza is a bit more interesting if you look at the art, but this pales in comparison compared to CryptoPunks in terms of its market capital. Its market capitalization here is about 40,160 Ethereum at about $184.5 million. Quite small compared with CryptoPunks. Anyway, enough of that. So altcoin season. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Please forgive me. As I said, I've got a cold. I'm still trying to shake it, and that's why I'm still sounding quite nasally. My apologies. Okay, altcoin season here. The index is 57. There has been a massive increase in the price of Ethereum and one or two other altcoins compared with Bitcoin, and it has brought about the fact that some people have moved out of Bitcoin into Ethereum. And everybody's saying, altcoin season is here. Before I even go there, let's quickly look at the dominance. So Bitcoin dominance, according to this is CoinMarketCap here, we've got about a 57.5% Bitcoin dominance. Ethereum has been, and that's down by 2.93%. Ethereum 14.3%, up by 2.61%. It was 11% a while ago. Excuse me. And others are 28.1%, up 0.31%, and we can see it here. Now, excuse me, altcoin season will not return until this value here becomes about 75. So, between 0 to 25, Bitcoin season. Your neutral season is between 26 and 74, and we are currently in the neutral at the moment at 57. And then your altcoin season comes in at over 76 to 100. Now, as we can see here, Bitcoin is 57.5%. That confirmation will come when Bitcoin itself, as a percentage, falls to about under 50%, and you have your altcoin season index going up to 76 or more. Then the altcoin season is underway. What this means, ladies and gentlemen, is that you, as a person, you can take positions in some of your favorite altcoins and just sit back and wait. And sort of, I won't say grin and bear. No, wait. It will come. The market will come to you. It's bound to happen as time goes on. Now, when it's going to happen exactly, I'm not quite sure. But it's bound to happen. There's no question about that. So be patient. Be on the lookout for that. One of my favorite on-chain indicators is the Pi cycle top, and this indicator has been very, very accurate, and that is when the price of Bitcoin goes above the 350 DMA multiplied by 2, then that was when you know that you're at the top of the market, and then it begins to fall. And so far, it's not failed yet. So we're going to see what happens over time. So I always keep my eye out on that. Next, this is something I just thought I should just throw in there just to show you. Now, I generally don't look at this, but I find it kind of fascinating. Why? Because they call it the crypto market RSI Heatmap. RSI is the relative strength index, and some of you I know use RSI for your trading. And because it's dynamic, it's live, so you can see that you've just seen a change. Now you've got the overbought, strong, neutral, weak, and oversold areas, and you can see. So here, let's move that. That's the oversold area here, the weak area here, neutral, strong, and overbought. And Bitcoin, as we can see right there, is currently in the weak area. So it's been weakened, but I don't think it's going to fall into the oversold area. I think it will remain here between weak and neutral. I think earlier in the week, or is it earlier last week, Bitcoin was in the neutral zone. Solana was also in neutral. Ethereum is still in neutral. XRP is in neutral. ADA is in neutral. And you can see it's a little bit crowded. So if we do this, if I untick these boxes, that we can now see which one is which. So in the oversold area here, we've got Humor. I've never even heard of some of these coins here. Magic, I know about. Tree, ASR, Pippin. I don't even know what this is. But you can see, it can tell you. And you can use this as a way of buying or selling a particular cryptocurrency of yours if you trade using the RSI. So if we untick that and tick the week, we can see which ones are weak. Bitcoin is there, Bitcoin Cash is there, ENA, Litecoin is there, Tau is there, Render is there. Excuse me. And you can see many of the others that are also there. Okay, let's do that. Let's look at neutral. And here we've got neutral. We've got Ethereum is there. XRP is in neutral. Doge is also in neutral. I know Solana has got to be maybe in neutral now, I think, because it's been in neutral for quite a while. It's probably still there. I don't think it's fallen too weak. But you can see it's a little bit crowded, so you can't really see. But you can pretty much, I mean, if you're looking for something in particular, I'm sure you put the effort in trying to find out what it looks like, what it is on the chart. So, and these are ones that are strong. Neo, QTerm, IOST, these are strong here. And finally, overbought. And it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so you could easily speculate. If you look at that, you could just quite easily speculate on where the cryptocurrency that you like would eventually head to. So I thought that was just interesting. I thought you should just have a look at that. Okay, here, this is talking about the liquidation. I'm not going to bore you. Not everybody uses liquidation, but remember I told you to trade the liquidation. It's something I've been doing. And this gives you maximum pain at where you can expect something to happen. If we go here, we can see the liquidation. These lines here shows us the liquidation level. So this line here, that's about 100 times liquidation. So, and there's going to be massive amounts of capital at those areas. And what the market makers do is that they trade to these areas to take people out. So you hear people that, people on 100 time leverage on either as a future or a perp, they got wrecked. That is, they had anticipated the price going up, but the market forced the price down. So it's almost like a short or long squeeze. If you know, this chart also, if you look at this chart, this is a chart of Bitcoin on the Binance, the Bitcoin perps. Current price here is 111,520. And this area here is a 100 time leverage, and they actually, I think they're going to take this area out. You can also see that there's some buying. This circles here tells you the buying going on by the whales. Now, the larger the circle, the more money has been expended or has been deployed. Capital has been deployed in that area, that price area. So you can see that capital has been deployed in these two areas, and you can see this is you can see that if you put the mouse over there, you can see how much is being deployed and at what price point. I just thought that these things are quite interesting for you to see. I think what we should do over time is we probably have make a video about it for people to, and we can discuss these things in more detail. I thought I should just add this instead of just throwing the charts at you. I thought this may kind of make it interesting for you. Anyway, let's move on to the charts. If you give me one moment, please. Let me just get... My apologies there. I told you I'm dealing with a cold, so please bear with me. Okay, so let's now look at the charts. All right, so as always, we start with Bitcoin. Now, we've got 1, 2. This is some overlap of buying areas here or areas of demand. 3, 4 areas of demand and 1 area of supply here. A lot of strong activity going on in this area when you look at our volume profile. and price coming down. I suspect that price will get about 109, 110. Now, if we go back and look at this Bitcoin short, for those of you who have gone on short, the maximum pace at 115. Those that have gone long, maximum pace at 110. That means if it breaks 110, these guys, and they've gone long, these guys are going to lose out. If it breaks over 115 for the shorts, that means these guys who have tried to take a position here, mostly limit buys or limit sells, they're going to lose money. Which is why I got this open. So if we come here, ladies and gentlemen, we have a strong, it looks quite strong that the price might come, worst case scenario, about 107 here. I don't think it's going to go lower than 107. Why have I also said that? If you look at this white line here, is also the 200-day moving average, and that's at 100,884. Now, some are talking about 102, 103. That's what you've been hearing posited. This line here is at about 102, 102, 103. This is the worst case scenario, but I can't see it going anything. If, let's say, it gets so bad, 100,000, I think we'll be fine. I doubt it. We're going to get anywhere near there. I think worst case scenario, we're going to be at about 107. No more than that. And I think at that particular area, it can take out those guys who are here. If you take these guys out, the price will definitely go back up to look for more liquidity to liquidate others that have taken positions at such high prices. So I can't see it going. I think that you could actually take a position around, you could take a limit buy at about 107, 108 to watch it go back up. It will go, at least worst case scenario, back to about 117, probably going to be much higher than that. I think anyway. If the price continues to decline, and as I said before, Bitcoin begins to lose its dominance, its percentage dominance, then we could see a major, we could see a fall. But in that case, I can't see anything. Worst case scenario, let's say it gets so bad, 100,000. 100,000. I can't see it falling below that. I doubt that. I doubt very much if we ever even get there. But we can keep an eye out for that. Still very strong. Another thing that you may have noticed, if you look at this area here, if we draw our line across, it's pretty much an area of support and resistance now. If you look at this line here, and that's about 111. It's broken that, but it's still quite close. So you can keep an eye on that and see where it eventually leads to, because that's an area to watch out for. I suspect that it will come here. This is where it was the last time. It's going to come this area here. Let's just draw a line. Let's just put a line there. Let's put it here. 107. I think if worst case scenario, it gets to about 107 and then goes back up. I think that's what's going to happen. So you have some kind of double bottom. And when you have a double bottom, that means the price does what? Goes back up. But anyway, that's Bitcoin. Let's move on to Binance. Ladies and gentlemen, Binance has been on fire recently. I mean, real fire. I mean, look at that. Look at that. And if you remember some of my earlier videos, trading sideways, I said you could take a position in somewhere in these regions here for it to eventually go back up, which it did. Volume profile activities here, but as we can see, it's a bit sparse, which is more or less agreement between the buyers and sellers. Another area of demand here is 1, 2, 3, 4 areas of demand. No areas of supply at all on this. Binance is here. It's not going anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. I know people have criticized it. Excuse me. I know people have criticized Binance, but it's not really going anywhere. Expect to see prices go back up. I think worst case scenario here, we're going to go back. Worst case scenario, I think we go back to about 112, maybe 800. I said 812, not 112. And I think not much to say about Binance. Binance is not going anywhere. It's going to be here. I've actually considered not doing anything about Binance, but since we started with it, I think we just continue. But anyway, there we are. Next move to Ethereum. Ethereum also has been on fire. I mean, no areas of supply at all, just demand. That's 3 areas there. Activities here and here in terms of the volume profile, and here is where our point of control is. A few tiny little bits of ice cream scoops here and here, but other than that, not much to talk about. I suspect that we almost hit $5,000. I think we're going to hit $5,000 and go up beyond that. Some people are already positing $20,000. I don't think it's going to get anywhere near there. But let's just wait and see. You never know with crypto. And if our altcoin season shifts, if the altcoin season index shifts, and we see it go up to about 60 something, then we can start gearing up for the fact that all the altcoins will follow Ethereum's lead. That means that Ethereum itself has moved on and moved forward, and so everybody's going to follow Ethereum's lead. All the other altcoins will follow Ethereum's lead, because Ethereum will lead. When that goes up, the other altcoins will go up, and that means that Bitcoin itself comes down. I mean, if we say Ethereum against, because really what we should be doing against Bitcoin, you see that's against Bitcoin. Look at that, it's gone up against Bitcoin. Look at that, it's gone from 0.021 to currently 0.04. That's doubled. It's doubled, and you can see the strength. What we really should be doing, let's look at the weekly so that we can see a bit more. That shows you see, look at that. Bitcoin was basically eating Ethereum's lunch, and then Ethereum was more or less neutral here, and then look, Ethereum began to lose to Bitcoin until April this year, and then it's gradually started to go back up. And it probably go back to about this range, about 0.05, because look at this area here, very sparse volume here. What we really, ladies and gentlemen, should be doing when it comes to cryptocurrencies is pitching Ethereum against Bitcoin and not Ethereum against the US dollar, because the US dollar is a fiat currency. It's as somebody put, I think it was James of Invest Answers, he calls it melting ice cubes. It's just losing value. So what we really should be doing is comparing these things against Bitcoin. That has a fairer value, if you ask me. One thing that I didn't do, I forgot to do, but I think I will do it too. I think I should do it at the end, or should I do it now? Since we mentioned Bitcoin, if we open up, let's see. Okay, let's use this. If I do this, very quickly, I forgot to mention. I wanted to mention this to you, but I forgot to mention this to you. This is Bitcoin against gold. So you need 33.15 ounces of gold to buy 1 Bitcoin. So that's quite interesting. This also, again, Bitcoin against gold, which is a solid asset. As you can see, Bitcoin was losing against gold, and now it's going back up against gold. Look at that. At one point, it was about 24. Look at that. It was about 24.54 ounces to 1 Bitcoin. That was as far as April of this year. And today is now 33.15 ounces of gold to 1 Bitcoin. So you can see the strength of Bitcoin when you bring it against up against gold. I just thought I should just show you that. I think we're going to be doing more of these comparisons. I think in the next video, that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring in a lot of the comparisons so you can see and how you can judge the strength of the asset that you believe in. Next is Solana. And here again, as you can see, there's been more or less like sideways trading, and then boom, we've gone up and then it's come down again. Let's see if we do look at this area here. Let's do it this way. There and there. Let's use this there. So if we do this, ladies and gentlemen, this is the area to break. About 205. It broke it. It's come up there. Look at that. It's come down from that area here. Hit it 1, 2, 3. I remember some years ago when I was analyzing. I'm not quite sure which one. I think it was Bitcoin. Bitcoin was on its way down and it hit a particular area of resistance about 4 times, and then eventually it went through. Probably the 4th time lucky on this one, but we'll see. It broke through, and as of yesterday we were at 213.49. So I thought, oh, is it going to break through? But then it's gone back. So watch out for the $205 range. This is your resistance, and if it breaks this and it goes higher, I think if you can break this area here at about 217, then we are looking at it going back to about $246. And then who knows if it breaks this area. Now, the area of supply here is quite small, so with enough volume momentum, you can easily break it. And if it breaks it, who knows where it's going to end up. Solana is one of the few platforms, cryptocurrency platforms, that are actually doing some massive development in terms of transactions per second, its speed. People are building on it. Even traditional finance is now building on crypto. We've got about 4 or 5 major decentralized exchanges. We've got massive amounts of minting of USDC and stablecoin. So, I mean, there's so much, and there's a lot more, and a lot more. I mean, Solana NFTs, need I say more? For those of you NFT lovers, you know what I'm talking about. So, I mean, you've got so much going on. The meme coins, you know, it's now a tried and tested platform based on the meme coins. The number of meme coins that were produced on Solana was just, I mean, it started becoming a bit idiotic. And this is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. This is a truly tried and tested platform now. We're not going to have those funny crashes. I mean, there was also a vote on the validators recently, I think last week. So, I mean, a lot is going on, far more than most other platforms. I suspect that if this price point falls below $200 and comes down to about, if you're lucky, if it falls, if we come to about between 170 and 180, that's a definite buy. You should beef up your bags and just wait. The altcoin season, when it hits, this is one of the currencies that you're really going to enjoy. You're going to enjoy the profits that you make on this one. I promise you that. I promise you that. As always, no financial advice, of course, but let's also run the Solana BTC, and then you can see what I'm talking about. But you see, once again, this is even closer. Solana BTC. Now look at this. If we go to the weekly, let's look at the weekly briefly. Let's just set that. Look at what's happened. It's gone up, it's down, and it's going back up. I think these are all to do with the vagaries of the markets. Eventually, like I've said, when the altcoin season kicks in, we're going to see a massive move. And looking at this weekly chart here, don't be surprised if we go back to its all-time high, and or even higher. Some have posited Solana to about 1,000. Between, I say, let's it hit 500 first. then we worry about 1,000. But wait, let's wait till that time. Okay, so let's move on to SUI. SUI has been trading sideways. I remember earlier in the year I told people to get in about here, this area here. It went up, came back, and it's gone up again. We can also see it's got done something quite similar to what some of the others have done. Let's have a look to see. So we're looking at about this area here. So our area of resistance is about $4.31, as you can see. We've got two areas of demand, two areas of supply. None of these areas of demand or supply are thick; they're just thin, which means enough volume momentum, would go through. The volume profile activity is at about $3.47. This area here, as you can see yourself, fairly even right through, thick, right, really thick in the middle, which means that a lot of the activity, as you can see, has gone on in this area since January of this year. This is the area here. And ultimately, we've had this area, $4.31 as our area of resistance. If it breaks that, I believe that if we can break through to about $4.57, then we could easily see, with enough momentum, this asset hitting $5. But until that time, we're just gonna have to be a bit optimistic. I think we remain optimistic. I think if it falls down to about $3.08, it's about $3. It's a buy. Anything between $2.80 to $3.10 or so is a good buy. If it comes down, particularly to this area here, this is an area. Set some limit buys here and just buy some if you're into SUI. And these are speculative buys, of course. And remember, if we do that, we are keeping our fingers crossed that the altcoin season will come into play. So this is what I'm talking about here, ladies and gentlemen. So let's on to Moodeng. Okay, Moodeng, I told you earlier in the year, enter this area here. It's gone up, it's gone down. Now it's still trading sideways. And this is your new area here for entry. Now, I can't remember this area of supply being this big, but this is massive. And it's going to take one hell of a volume momentum to get through that. We've also got 1, 2, 3 volumes of areas of supply. Very thin area of demand. Very, very thin. Speculators, good market for you. Those who are holding long term, you're still going to have to deal with some pain. If you're still holding, that is. Let's see, let's look at the weekly quickly. Let's see, what was its all-time high? Its all-time high was 70 cents. Okay, so currently it's about 14 cents. So as you saw on the daily charts, there's a lot of room for speculators to still come in and make some profits. Long-term holders, particularly those of you who bought it at 50 or 60 cents, you're going to have to hold on. I'm going to wait. Like I said, if it breaks this area here at about 25 cents, we might be lucky enough to see it go up next to about 34 cents. And if it breaks 34 cents, we are looking here at about between 42 and 45 cents. That's what we're looking at for Moodeng. You're speculating again, long term, take positions, wait for the altcoin season to kick in, and then watch closely. I think that will be your play. Finally, in terms of the currencies, we're going to be looking at WIF. Again, WIF gave you several areas of entry down here and down and here. We've got 1, 2, 3, an overlap there, and quite thick area of supply. Again, we're going to need massive amounts of volume momentum to break through that. Even here, The same thing here, and we've got two very tiny areas of demand. Speculators, this is your market. If you enter at about, maybe if it falls back to about 63 cents, you can enter and take profits in any of these areas of supply. Long-term holders, patience is required on your part. You've heard me say this a million times. I'm just repeating myself on this one. Long-term holders, patience is required. I think we can stop there in terms of the coins. Ladies and gentlemen, the markets itself have been a bit topsy-turvy. One moment undue excitement, the next thing, doom. Everybody's not happy with the price falling. And I suspect this is going to continue. We might be able to see something positive and more progressive in September of this year. That's what many of the pundits are saying. Let's not hope it's a sort of self-fulfilling prophecy. I would like to believe that it's going to be real and we're going to have a good rally. Anyway, that's me. So, as always, keep your eyes and ears open and you're trading sharp. Have a good one. Bye.